when I point my finger and stomp my foot,
He did not stop his reach.
you're live.
Welcome to Cooking with Dorothy. We got another episode coming at you tonight. Last week, just a little recap if you missed last week. Last week we did a green smoothie recipe, so I whipped up a green smoothie with cucumber, celery, cilantro, kale, lemon, ginger, turmeric. So if you missed that, you can log into trueformlife.com, and in the search bar, you could put green smoothie or green detox smoothie, and you can find the recipe there. So we whipped that up last week. It's our second week of this 8-week detox for Cooking with Dorothy. So the next, throughout the 8 weeks, the next 7 weeks that we're together, we're going to go through 7 more detoxifying recipes. So tonight, we are doing kale chips. So I'm going to come close to the camera, Drew, and you tell me how it looks.
It looks pretty amazing.
So I whipped these kale chips up earlier today, and I got to tell you, it was so difficult for us not to eat them all.
It's true.
Because kale chips are so delicious. If you've never had kale chips before, you have to make this recipe. And if you've had them before and maybe you haven't really enjoyed them, you have to make this recipe. And if you love kale chips already, you have to make this recipe. Because these ones are so good. And actually, to buy a bag of kale chips at a health food store or a grocery store, it is quite expensive. I find them to be a higher price point. But making them at home is so inexpensive, and you get a whole lot more as well. So all you need is a bundle of curly kale. So just a bunch of curly kale. And then you need your Himalayan salt. So we're using Himalayan salt, the pink salt. And then we've got nutritional yeast for that cheesy flavor. And then we've got coconut oil. Now, this is a special coconut oil that we're using tonight. I was telling Drew, it's so interesting about this coconut oil is because we got it in Sri Lanka, actually. So this coconut oil went from Sri Lanka to Alberta, from Alberta, and now down to California. And it is, I guess you would say, homemade, because our neighbor where we were staying in the village, our neighbor there makes his own coconut oil from the coconuts from his yard. Amazing. So he sent us back to Canada with some of his coconut oil. So that's what we're using tonight in our kale chip recipe. But of course, I don't expect that you will get homemade coconut oil from Sri Lanka. You can pick up a coconut oil at your grocery store or health food store as well. So the only thing is that it'll have to be melted. So you can see this coconut oil has already been melted, and all I did is a glass container. So I just had it on the stove for the day. So and it is quite warm out today as well. So I just had that on the stove for the day to melt it kind of naturally, as opposed to you would want to avoid melting the coconut oil in the microwave or something like that. You don't want the coconut oil to get too high temperature because you're going to destroy its properties.
We got Brandon in here on Instagram.
Hey, Brandon!
He said Dorothy is real.
I am real!
So I met with Brandon yesterday, so that was cool. We got a chance to catch up. He's checking us out live on Instagram.
Thank you for tuning in, Brandon. Kale chips. Yum, yum.
And then we got Tina Thomas. Tina Thomas.
Hey, Tina!
Hi, Tina. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in again. You tuned in last week for our green smoothie recipe, so thanks for tuning into our kale chips recipe. This recipe that we're whipping up tonight won't take a whole lot of time. I did want to grab Detoxify Yourself real quick. So Detoxify Yourself is where I'm gathering all the recipes out of for this 8-week series of summer detox recipes. So the green smoothie recipe that we did last week, the kale chip recipe that we're doing right now is from the meal plan in Detoxify Yourself. And if you're unfamiliar with Detoxify Yourself, Drew wrote this book.
Yeah.
And I didn't give a shout out to Drew earlier in the show, But during Cooking with Dorothy, Drew does all of the back end stuff for me so that I can be in front of the camera making food. So thanks, Drew.
Hi, guys.
So if you have questions, comments, feel free to shoot us a message, and Drew's behind the computer there. We can answer your questions instantly. So we do have a little bit of a special going on for Detoxify Yourself. Detoxify Yourself is a whole food detox. So it's a lifestyle detox. In the beginning of the book, Drew talks about how to not only detox your body from most common toxins that we consume, but also how to declutter your mind. And he talks about environment, like an environmental detox as well. And then in the back of the book is the 30-day meal plan. So that's where we're drawing all of the recipes from for this Cooking with Dorothy special series of summer detox. So this is the kale chip recipe is a great snack to have on hand for those summer events, I suppose, because there's so many treats, so many snacks going around at different parties, at different events, camping, all kinds of different things going on throughout the summer. So these are great to pre-make and bring along with you so you have something healthy for yourself or to share, whatever. So I think we can get into it. Oh, maybe not. What do we got?
You forgot about our deal.
Oh, I didn't mention the Detoxify Yourself dealio.
Hello.
So, for Cooking with Dorothy, we are offering Detoxify Yourself at a discounted rate because we appreciate your support. We appreciate you tuning in to the show and watching. So normally Detoxify Yourself is $20, and we're offering it to our Cooking with Dorothy audience for $15. So if you'd like to pick up a copy of Detoxify Yourself and learn how to detox your body from most common toxins that we consume and how to live a healthy, detoxed way, then you can pick this up for $15. That's our special Cooking with Dorothy rate.
And the magnesium.
I'm not on the ball tonight.
Dorothy is snoozing. Hello.
So, we are going to throw in, if you order a copy of Detoxify Yourself through Cooking with Dorothy here, we're going to throw in a sample bottle of our new product, which is our magnesium, our Trimag. We called it Trimag because we chose 3 different magnesiums to put in our products. So that's why the name Trimag, because there's 3. But we'll throw in a sample bottle for you of that. This here is a 2-week supply. So this bottle here is a little bit bigger than our sample bottles, but we're just getting our sample bottles up and going, but it'll be a 1-week supply. This is a 2-week supply, so it's a little bit bigger. I just didn't want you to get your sample bottle and be like, oh, well, that's smaller than the one she showed. I'm not trying to cheat you or anything. Just we're still working on the sample bottles.
Sweet.
Now, Drew, did I miss anything?
We got Charlene here. She says, Pete and I are watching.
Nice! Hello! Thanks for watching.
No, we're good to go. Let's rock it. Let's get into the recipe.
Okay, so I have to say that the recipe that I made earlier today was a lot bigger, but Drew ate a lot of the kale chips.
Oh my gosh. They're so hard not to eat, I'm telling you.
He's like, can I put these in the fridge? And I'm like, no, they don't go in the fridge. But he says, I can't stop eating them.
It's like one of those things, every time you walk by, you gotta have one, and then they're gone. So Dorothy's like, I need that for the show tonight.
So super quick and easy recipe to make, actually. Drew, maybe you could go and grab the recipe link and put it for them in the comments. So then you guys can follow along. We always send out a copy of the recipe before the show. So if you're not on our Cooking with Dorothy newsletter, let us know, and we'll add you. We'll just need an email so that you get the recipe ahead of time, so that if you want to watch and cook along with me, that's an option as well. Some people like to sit back, relax, watch the show, and then make the recipe after. Some people just like to watch too, which is perfectly fine. So what you'll need for the recipe is a bunch of the curly kale, like a bundle of the curly kale. I've already prepared most of it. First, you'll want to wash your kale, all right? That's really, really, really important, is to wash it. Kale, especially because kale gets all kind of curled up, and then there's usually dirt on the stem. So make sure you soak your kale leaves, and if you ever feel so inclined, give them a little massage to get that dirt out. We use Thieves Fruit and Veggie Soak to wash our veggies, and this helps also not just rid from the dirt, but also helps get rid if it was sprayed with anything or if there's any other germs on it. Also helps keep the veggies fresh. So always when you bring your veggies home from the grocery store, you want to give them a quick wash, veggies and fruit, and this Thieves Fruit and Veggie Wash will help it last longer as well, help it stay crisper and more fresh in the fridge as well. If that's something that does not interest you, the Thieves Fruit and Veggie Spray or Wash, you can also use apple cider vinegar. So throw a little cap full of apple cider vinegar into your cold water and soak them that way. That'll help get rid of some of the toxins as well.
We got Sasha in here. She says, "Hi guys,
Sasha, you're back!
thanks for joining 2 times in a row
Thank you.
for Cooking with Dorothy." And
Yay.
she joined a Facebook Live too, I think.
Woo, thank you.
Thanks, Sasha. Great to see you.
She's a true phone addict. I love it. So Sasha, if you're just jumping on here, we're just getting started with our kale chip recipe. So I pre-washed, of course. Washing is the first step. And then I tore them up into little pieces already. But I just saved one giant kale leaf so I could show you the best way to chop them. Super easy. It's not rocket science here. But we want to get rid of this big unpleasant stem. Not fun to chew by any means. So you'll just kind of cut the bottom of that stem off. And then some of these smaller bits on the bottom you can just pull off. And those will be a nice chip for you. And then what I like to do is just slice along, I guess, the stem to get rid of it here.
This would be a great time to zoom in if we had a super fancy camera.
That's right. So I just removed the stem by slicing lengthwise along there. And then I'm just going to tear these into bite-sized pieces. Throw them into a giant bowl. They'll shrivel up a bit, so they might not look like bite-sized pieces now, but once we bake them, they will. Which reminds me, you'll want to preheat your oven as well. So you'll want to keep it low, 225. We're going to preheat that oven too.
Low and slow.
Low and slow. So we don't want to put it too high because the kale chips will burn and they'll taste nasty. So if you want them nice and golden brown, crispy tasting, well, not burnt, then 225.
Got a couple comments here.
Yay, I love comments.
Well, this is Brandon, and he dropped his website. So I'm guessing he's looking for a plug, Brandon? Is that what's going on? Check out Brandon at creativekinfolk.com. Check him out. Brandon's awesome. We're looking forward to working with him in the future. And then we got Greg jumped in here. He said, hey guys. Greg, you just missed our plug for magnesium. Our viewers, Greg helped us develop. He was one of the leading men. He's our scientist. He's our chem guy. He's rocking it. And he's our partner with magnesium. So we're happy to have him here with us and rocking the show.
Yeah, we're super grateful to have Greg on our team because he was a big part in formulating TriMag, which we talked about earlier in the show. But in case you're just tuning in here, there might be some others. If you feel it's ever so inclined to buy Detoxify Yourself at our Cooking with Dorothy price, $15, we're going to throw in a sample of our new product, Magnesium, TriMag, in with your book. So that's the dealio that Drew was talking about. All right, the kale, are we good to go, Drew?
I'm good. Let's do it.
So the kale's all set to go. Make sure you've washed your hands because it sounds so ridiculous, but we're going to massage our kale now. But we're going to put our toppings on. So make sure you have melted coconut oil. And if you're a first-time watcher, you'll quickly learn that I'm not a great measurer. My recipes do have measurements, but it's kind of a guideline. This one, there are some recipes where you do need to be accurate, but others you do not. So you could take a spoon and drizzle 2 to 4 tablespoons, depending how much kale you get in your bunch. But I like to just get crazy And Drew will shake his head because sometimes I get a little too crazy.
Dorothy has issues with portion control.
So just drizzle the coconut oil over top of your kale. And we're going to use our Himalayan salt. Drew, why do we use Himalayan salt?
Because it has so many nutrients. Just let me mention, Brandon asked for recipes here. Brandon, you're on Instagram. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/trueformlife. I'm actually dragging comments onto the screen. I'm putting live links for people to click on. That's a bit challenging on Instagram. But while we're here on Facebook as well, you can actually click on the link. So I don't know if you're a Facebook guy, but that's definitely an option. Facebook.com/trueformlife. Otherwise, I can drop some links to you personally. I don't know how I can do it while we're live here, so.
Or, right, you can always go on to trueformlife.com as well in our little search bar just for this recipe. Just Cheesy Kale Chips was the title, so that'll come up right at the top as well.
Thank
you.
you.
Want to visit the website.
Yeah, tons of minerals in Himalayan salt, and it's also, it's a pink salt, it's less refined, and it's, we would choose pink salt over white salt, even sea salt if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and the next one we're going to sprinkle on is some nutritional yeast. This is going to give you that cheesy flavor. It's dairy free. It's a vegan kind of cheese replacement, I suppose you'd say. Cheese taste. So we'll just sprinkle some of that on as well. If I can open it. Got it. So we'll sprinkle some on.
Have you guys tried nutritional yeast? Drop your comment in below. Let us know if you tried it.
That's a great question. Yeah, we started using nutritional yeast a few years ago. We love it on popcorn. We sprinkle it on, what else? Broccoli is really nice to sprinkle it on.
You have a really nice vegan mac and cheese, don't you?
Yeah, really. That's maybe you can go find that recipe and drop it in the comments, Drew. Yeah. Vegan mac and cheese is one of our favorite, but we make that with nutritional yeast. So this is called massaging your kale. You're just gonna want to make sure that the oil in the seasoning is nice and blended into the leaves, and then I have enough. You'll want the leaves to be moist, be wet with the oil, but not soaked and soggy and drippy, because then they won't cook properly. So I have enough oil on here, but I am going to add a little bit more seasoning. So another sprinkle of Himalayan salt and one hit the floor, and another sprinkle of nutritional yeast.
We have Brandon says beautiful. I'll crank up the Facebook. And
nice.
Then we had Greg. He says I like cheese.
Yeah, who doesn't like cheese?
Dorothy.
I don't hear of too many people who don't like cheese.
I'm not a big cheese fan. You know that. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at the camera like that. I'm over here. I'm not a big cheese fan. I like, what's the cheese I like?
You like smoked cheddar?
Oh, I like smoked cheddar. That's about, the rest I can like, I'm okay with. I'm not like super excited about it. And some people, like Dorothy, would like give her like a limb for a bite of cheese. Oh, how about that like blue cheese or like stinky cheese?
It's not my favorite blue cheese, but I'll eat it. Okay, I think we got enough on here. So the next step, we're just gonna place it on the can't get that word out. We're gonna place it on the cookie sheet or on the baking sheet. Ideally, you want two, but not at the moment. We only have one. So you'll want 2 cookie sheets lined with parchment paper. They'll cook nice and crispier that way. And the only thing you have to watch out for when placing them on your cookie sheet is just make sure they are not overlapping or touching, because that'll affect the crispiness of the chips. So make sure that you spread them out. I mean, they don't have to be gaps in between them, but just make sure they're not on top of each other or overlapping. They can be close, but just make sure that they aren't overlapping, because then they won't get that crispy. They'll be sogginess, and the idea here is to get a nice crispy texture like a chip.
If you guys are enjoying the show, hit that little heart button.
Yes.
That definitely helps us out.
Yes, we love that. Love that heart button. So I'm just going to continue to put these on the cookie sheet here. I'm not going to make you wait around until they are done. But you'll want to throw them in the oven for 15 minutes. Set a timer. 225, don't forget on low. Throw them in the oven and then flip them over. Depending on your oven, depending how crispy they are after 15 minutes, flip them over anywhere from 5 to 10 more minutes. Some might even need another 15 minutes. But just watch them. Set the timer again for 5 or 10 minutes, and then if you still think they need 5 more minutes after that, you can throw them in for another 5 minutes. You'll know they'll get really crisp, like they'll get crispy. You'll know when they're done. They're not soggy anymore, they're crispy. So they're nice here and laid out.
What are you doing there?
Laying them out.
So I just dropped a link here. So those of you guys on Facebook, you can see that the link on the screen here. So trueformlife.com/cooking with Dorothy. We're gonna send this video replay out in the future, or sorry, next week. And then Dorothy puts together the recipe in advance in case you want to do a cooking with Dorothy along with her.
Yeah, so you can cook the recipe along or make it along with me as well if you want to. That's an option because we send the recipe out before the show. So you can always subscribe.
Just click on the link there and you'll be able to sign up and you get all the details of Dorothy's show.
Yay! So all there's left to do, like if I had 2 cookie sheets, I will put the rest on the second cookie sheet. So you should have 2. And then all that's left to do is throw these in the oven in 15 minutes. And then flip them in another 5 to 10 minutes. And then they will come out nice and crispy. Like they're super crunchy. Should I show them how crunchy they are? They're so delicious.
Oh my gosh. They really are. I am looking forward to eating
I'm not sharing.
all of that bowl.
I'm not sharing.
I'm eating that bowl. As soon as
I'm not sharing.
We're wrestling. It's over.
Drew, if you want
It's on! What?
Oh. Maybe I should have chewed a little better. But Drew, if you want some, you're going to have to make some.
I'm going to eat yours.
Yeah. We'll see about that. All right, so we're going to wrap up here. Do you have anything else, Drew?
I don't have anything
else.
else.
Wrap up? Thank you so much. Oh, did you say something?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Cooking with Dorothy, we're going to be having on a regular basis every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We're focusing this next few shows, this 8-week block, on detox recipes from Detoxify Yourself. Last week we did a green smoothie, so if you missed that and you want to catch that video, you can. How would they do that, Drew? Is it up on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, and it's on Trueform as well. It's
on the Trueform page and on YouTube, so you can head back and watch the replay of that or grab the recipe from trueformlife.com, green detox smoothie, and make your own. Also, the kale chip recipe is up there as well, trueformlife.com if you want that. Next week, we are going to be whipping up a stir-fry recipe. Super simple. Again, our recipes aren't complicated. You don't need exotic ingredients or crazy prep time. We like to focus on quick, simple, easy, healthy recipes. And a lot of people will have a stir-fry that Drew and I make. They're like, oh my gosh, how come your stir-fry is so good? Mine don't taste like this. So we'll show you some of our tips, tricks to making a super delicious veggie stir-fry that will be detoxing for your body. A lot of the times we make a beautiful stir-fry, and we'll talk more about this next week, but a lot of times we make a beautiful, nutritious stir-fry, and then we smother it with sauces and things that kind of kill the nutrients. So we'll talk all about that next week on Cooking with Dorothy. Stir-fry recipe coming at you, a veggie stir-fry recipe coming at you next week. So thanks again for tuning in. Drew's just got something before I
wrap it up here. Lindsay loves, she's in here. She says,
hey, Lindsay!
Come closer, I can't hear the crunch.
Come closer!
And then we had Hilda, Mom, she just jumped in and she said, hi, sorry I'm late.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we're just wrapping things up here, but thanks for everyone for coming in whenever you can.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, thanks to everybody who commented, who liked, who hit that heart button. That always means so much to us. And if you need to get your hands on a copy of Detoxify Yourself, don't forget we have it on special for Cooking with Dorothy viewers, $15, and we're throwing in a sample of our Tri-Mag in there if you purchase the Cooking with Dorothy special. I think that's it. So next week, tune in, same place, same time, for a veggie stir-fry recipe. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
That's it. We're out of here.